what do you advise people who don't know which trading vehicle to go with? Do you agree with what I said?
Yeah, I mean,
not with real money, I guess. If you think that if you try to go trade some forex and you don't understand what the currency pairs are and things like that, and you'd rather focus on stock, should maybe they go ahead and use a sim account and try to learn the mechanics of each one?
Yeah, I always just kind of had a bias for the stock market, so I don't really know why I picked it. It was just something that I jumped right into.
Exactly.
I actually really didn't even know about the forex market. I didn't even know about futures or commodities or anything at that time. So for me, it was always just stocks. But there are a lot of options out there. There's forex, futures, commodities, options, stocks. Some countries have some other combinations as well. So I think a good strategy would be to get a demo account in each market and maybe give them a try. I know that each market, kind of the concepts that I utilize work in every market, so I've kind of played around on demo accounts and tried out each and every market. But there are a lot of very large differences that exist, like in the way price moves. So in the stock market here in the U.S., for example, it's only open from 8:30 in the morning my time till 3. So basically 6.5 hours is all that you have to trade. Or with forex, you have almost 24 hours a day to be trading.
Yeah, 24
and because of that, the price moves so much slower because people's trades are spread out throughout a much larger period of time. With the stock market, it's kind of like, okay, there's there's the open and the close. You can always rely on price to move a lot then. You can always rely to see high volume at those times. So for me, that's one of the huge advantages of the stock market is I can trade for 3 or 4 hours a day, and I can get in a good amount of positions. There's high volume. There's always volatility. Some of the other markets are a little bit slower than that. So that's one of the reasons why I pick stocks. With forex, you can get started with an account, with as little as like $100. So if you're a lower funded trader, I wouldn't suggest starting with $100, but you can start with a lower amount of money in forex than you can with most stockbrokers. It really just depends on your personal situation and kind of if you have a personal preference. So again, probably the best thing is to just get a demo account for each and every market and see if there's one that feels more natural to you, or see if there's one that you just enjoy more and go with it from there.
Yes, strongly agree. That's right. And, it's funny because when I first started trading, it's like right off the bat, I gravitated towards equities. And I was like, as I go, then I started learning about Forex and, the other stuff like the ETFs, commodities and futures. But when I find out about those stuff, it was already too late. I've already locked in myself to equities. So you know what? You're right. Try and try out different things, and try to study yourself. I guess find out what it is that you really love, and then just try to focus on that. I've mentioned this before. Don't do something you don't love because you're gonna get burned.
Right.
That applies to anything. You can't if you love. Bicycles, you can't open up an ice cream shop. Open a bicycle shop. So, the same concept applies. Fourth and last question, Brendan. What are the best online stock trading sites?
My website.
Yes, agree. This too, Swing Trading TV.
No, there's probably, more trading websites than there are traders out there. There's tens of thousands of trading websites. So it's really hard to kind of focus down. I guess it depends on what you're looking for specifically. There's a lot of different categories. There's informational websites. There's, charting websites. There's educational websites. Yeah, there's tons of different categories of that. Just to kind of, I don't know if there's necessarily one that wins for me in each category either. There's probably 20 different stock blogs that I follow personally, just because it's nice to kind of see what other people are thinking about the market, see what they have to say. As far as charting websites, I always go to a handful of them. So I don't know that there's any one, really great website for each category. Something that I've actually considered doing, though, is kind of putting together a list of my 50 favorite websites for trading. So that's something I might look to do, and maybe we can link to that below the video if I get that accomplished within the near future.
We can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
What do you think about it? There's so many websites, it's really hard to say what the best ones are, I think.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? It's really hard for me to say that there's one best, stock trading site. You're right. There is a lot of them. I guess what we can suggest to the people out there is to go out and explore. But to be honest with you, there's actually one site and it's more like a product. I don't know if you're using StockTwits, but I think it's a big help.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to know what other people are thinking. A lot of it's in real time.
In real time, exactly.
There's real time positions on there. People actually post their profits and losses, and more importantly, like I said, they post their profits and losses. It's not just a bunch of people saying, "Hey, I just made 10 grand." There's people on there saying, "Hey, I just lost 10 grand. Here's what I learned from it." So there's a lot of pluses and negatives of that site. There's a lot of people post the news as it happens. So if you're not watching the news, if you have StockTwits open, a lot of breaking news shows up on there. So it's kind of a good way to feel. One thing I always say is that the market is composed of thousands of traders, and that's what actually makes up the market, and that's what actually causes price to move. So I think StockTwits is just kind of a little sliver of the market, and it kind of gives us some insight as to what each and every trader is actually thinking and why they're placing their trades. So actually, I kind of learned a lot about my method just from using StockTwits, because I learned kind of the psychology of what each and every trader is thinking about different price levels and about different trades. And it kind of helps me with my own trading, and then I know exactly, when these other groups of people are getting long and when they're getting short.
Yeah.
It can help me gauge when I should get into my trades as well. So, yeah, I think StockTwits is a really great place. They have a ton of different resources there. They link to a lot of different websites. So it's very, very educational and very helpful, I think.
Yeah, in real time, you'll know exactly what stock people are talking about and things like that. And for those people who don't know what StockTwits is, it's basically like a Twitter for stock traders, right?
Right, exactly. It's linked to your Twitter account basically if you want to tweet on there. And yeah, I mean it's basically what it is every time someone tweets with a stock ticker tag, they put a little dollar sign in it.
Yes.
It basically takes a collection of all those. So it's kind of like a tag cloud of Twitter, but it's just related to stocks, if that makes sense.
Exactly. And yeah, the good thing about that is when you go to Twitter, you get a lot of different categories, but if you go to StockTwits, it's just stock trading. It's pretty straightforward.
Right, and the nice thing about it is if you follow all these traders on Twitter, they don't always post with a dollar sign. They don't always send to StockTwits all their stuff. Usually they just send kind of the best of the best to StockTwits. So I kind of think of StockTwits as like a more advanced level of Twitter where it's just composed of all these thousands of Twitter members. It's composed of their best tweets, really. So rather than looking through all their junk and looking through all their kind of mediocre stuff, I think that most of the really higher quality stuff usually makes the StockTwits.
I see. All right. That's the good stuff. All right, Brandon, I don't have any more questions. I think I'm going to have you back here in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, whenever we get some more questions, we can go back, or we can explore the live thing too, doing like a webinar with actual live Q&A too. So
exactly.
I guess whatever the viewers want to see.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to do that. Maybe post a schedule so we can do it on Ustream. We can also get questions from the people in the chat room there. So it's going to be great stuff. All right. So I will have you back soon. That was great stuff. We just talked about here. So everybody, let's all thank Brendan. Again, he will be back. If you guys like or don't like, our suggestions or advice, please do leave a comment so we can make things better around here. That's pretty much it. So thanks, Brendan. I'll see you soon.
No problem. And yeah, again, as you said, Mike, if suggestions, we're kind of putting these shows together for the viewers. So we want to put together what they want, obviously.
Right. We don't really want to ask our own questions because we already know what the answers to them. So we really want to get questions from you guys. Actually, there's a couple more questions I have, and they're very, very long, and we could probably just go ahead and discuss that in the future episodes, the future segments, of Trader Q&A. But for now, we're going to have to say goodbye. Again, Brendan, thank you so much for being on the show here. And I will see you soon.
Thank you, Mike. I'll see you in a few weeks.
And everybody, thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next episode of Swing Trading TV. Thanks. Bye now.